Hello. Welcome to CJRU Artist Review. I'm Kejo Buchanan,
Yeah, you
residing,
are. Sorry.
yes, I am, residing in Tkaronto, Toronto, on a dish with one spoon treaty territory. And today, my guest, who is clearly very outspoken, previously graced the CJRU stage through Toronto Live Off the Floor, a project directed by our friend Kalisa Jerome. And it is a pleasure to be sharing space again with this fearless soul folk poet and storyteller of Korean ancestry. Welcome, Janice Jo Lee.
안녕하세요. Hello, worldwide listeners.
Ah, yes. Oh my gosh, please reintroduce yourself and share where you're joining us from if you can.
hmm my name is Janice Jo Lee. My pronouns are she and they. My Korean name is Lee Seung-hae. I am born in Toronto. I'm second generation Korean Canadian settler. And I am living here in Tkaronto as well, just on the east side of the beautiful Don Valley, and joining you today. And I spent a lot of my years in Kitchener-Waterloo, I'll say as well.
Yes, yeah. And now you're calling this space home for now, right?
hmm
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, KW, for loaning us Janice Jolie. Um, I also had a chance to also see you this summer at
Yeah.
yeah, the Harborfront. This is how this all started again. And I saw you at Harborfront for the Taiwanese Fest.
hmm
And that was really cool. And I just wanted to know if you want to talk a little bit about what that experience was like, being in live performance and again, and what that felt like for you.
Totally. First of all, Harborfront, holy crow, they have so many staff. They were like, just doing live performance and having people help you. Because during the Great Panorama, when I did a concert from home, I was the audio technician, the video, lighting, performer. You had to do so many things by yourself and then edit it afterwards. So it was such a relief to have support. There was like six technicians, a liaison, a this, or that, a lighting tech. It's like, this is great. I don't even have to carry my music stand, you know? So
It's
there was that
nice.
part.
Yeah.
Amazing to have a real life audience, still getting used to that. Because, Kijo, first and foremost, I consider myself a live performer. And
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
the most special thing about what I do is interacting with an audience. So just having people there is a real trip. It's still I'm still getting used to it. And what was really special about Taiwan Fest is now that I'm rearranging my band, I have a band again, and I got to
Yeah. Did you
play
want
with
to?
Roa.
Okay.
Roa Lee, who played kayagum, the Korean table harp. Right, this is the first professional Korean musician I am sharing the stage with. Right, like these are acts of like decolonizing my band, right?
Yeah.
Or how do I present music that feels authentic to me? And especially with a gorgeous instrument like kayagum, it's so easy to be tokenized and exoticized. So how do we adding into the music for me brings this sound that really takes me back to imagining what my music would sound like if I lived in Korea, if I grew up in Korea. And so I have a song that's in Korean and putting kayagum on it. It makes it so special
Mm-hmm.
because the tone of the instrument just, it takes you back to the homeland.
Yeah, and you're really like, I know you made a joke about it, but you really are like laying the groundwork for that K-folk sound, and I'm
Mm-hmm,
really
mm-hmm.
happy. I'm really happy for you. I know you're making jokes about it, but I'm like, yep, that's what she's doing, right? She's got
Yeah.
her kagum, she's got her new mates,
Mm-hmm,
and I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're able to join Rolly on
mm-hmm.
this part of your journey, because that's what I was going to ask you, how what a change it's been. The last time I saw you, you're more of a looping soloist, and I
Mm-hmm,
know you're
mm-hmm.
accompanied by Justin James on piano as well. But
My dear friend Justin, who still I still play with, yeah.
awesome, awesome. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad you guys are still jamming together. That's really important. I'm glad. But also, like, so how has that, like, what has I guess helped you to shift from that soloist once in a while accompaniment into this like more what seems to be more like a collaborative zone that you're entering?
You know, the answer to that is trust. Is that I can trust people again. It's
Mm.
actually it's there's a logistical aspect, yes, of like who's available, but really the music for me is sacred and special, and it's like the best thing I can gift to the world. And so to create that and work on it with other people, I have to trust them. I have to love them. I
Mm.
have to feel like the band, we're all going to treat each other well, and that there will actually be no oppression within the band. In previous years, when I had um, all white people band, they were my friends and I loved them, but I would always have to coach them about, you know, how to, check their whiteness in a way that doesn't oppress me, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm using this word on purpose, oppress. Another
Yes.
person might say hurt. You hurt me with these things, but no one, your friends are not trying to be racist to you. We've just grown up in a world where the values that we have been taught and the way we've been socialized, it's built in to our
Yeah.
culture, right?
It's too acceptable.
Mm-hmm. And
Mm-hmm.
especially Canadian style, like this politeness where you
Mm-hmm.
just let it slide. We in the culture they call it microaggressions. But
Mm-hmm.
to me, they're just acts of oppression, right?
Mm-hmm.
That seemingly small but accumulate over time and hurt you. So having a band where everyone can actually feel safe as who they are, fully who they are, whether that's all the aspects of you, from your gender and sexuality to skin color to your musical ability to how much Western classical training you have. The band needs to be an ensemble that is together, that trusts each other, and so it's been a slow and intentional process of bringing folks together who are down with the political messages of my music and poetry, and also are just like fun to hang out with.
Yeah,
Because Kijo,
exactly.
touring is mostly hanging out. You perform for like 5-10% of the time. The rest of the time,
Mm-hmm.
you're in the car, you're in the green room, you're like in
You're
line to get food. So you have to like the people you're spending time with.
yeah, you're sharing space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. And if you are just arriving traveler, thank you for joining myself and Janice Jo Lee in conversation about her funky folk empowering anthem, Here I Am. Janice is an outspoken activist and organizer who leads through honest music and uncomfortable conversations around racism and white supremacy within local social justice culture and queer community. And I have to say, Janice, the timing couldn't have been
Mm.
better. So
Mm.
thank you. Thank you for raising this up.
You are welcome. Yeah, the
Yeah.
timing, it's always happening. New waves of people coming into the movement, you know. I think that's what you're referring to, yeah?
Yes, exactly. New waves. And I know we had talked about it before, but absolutely, the timing, yeah, it couldn't be better for us to be honest about these things and sing and have conversations, honest conversations about these things. But I also want to talk about, because you're talking just now about trust and bringing the band together.
Mhm.
And let's talk a little bit about Here I Am and the community of women that you're working with there. Did you
Yeah.
want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, Kijo, this song, I always wanted it to have like a badass girl gang feel to it. Like a bunch of angry, empowered feminists going around and like kicking down. That's kind of so. I was so happy to ask my who I call my contemporaries, my
Mm-hmm.
fellow women of color, femmes of color, musicians, singer songwriters from Kitchener-Waterloo, which is really where I became an artist and where all of my early career was. So my friends, my colleagues, to come and back me up on this track. So,
Mm-hmm.
and these are folks that I look up to, that I have learned from, that I share stages with. I have sang on their music, they've sang on my music. So I want to be backed up by my community, And I really also wanted KW folks to listen to be like, oh, snap, Alicia's on this song. Charlene, Joni, this is so cool. Jojo produced it. Like, I wanted the whole family to be there. And so we got to do that. And so when I listen to the song, I feel so full of love. Be like, yo, these are all my friends. I can hear them in the mix. And because this recordings last forever, they last for the rest of time.
Exactly. It's good to know, and like you were saying, being intentional of who you invite
Mhm.
into that moment, because this is it. This is going to be something people reference back to, right? When they want
Yeah.
to know more about Janice Jo Lee, and they're going to say, yeah, you got to check this Here I Am track out. But yeah, absolutely.
How does it feel for you as a listener? Like, can you tell that there's different people on the chorus?
I absolutely can tell. I can tell this is definitely a very strong, explosive band, and it definitely has that marching. It definitely has the anthem feel, the marching feel, the let's get and hit the streets feel, and I like that. I like that that action because as much as we like to sit and talk, and that's okay. It's good to talk. It's good to organize, but it's also nice to know there is that active kind of very active energy that's happening. It's
Ooh.
it's it's there, and we're all picking it up and saying, "Yes, I am going to be a part of this. I am getting out on the streets. Here I am." And yeah, I was definitely feeling the vibe. I was definitely feeling the vibe. Very funky, very explosive. Exactly what it needs to be, and it's a real call to action. What people need to
Mm.
hear, and I like that. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Hmm. Hmm. And I hope listeners really take time to put that on repeat on their streaming apps and yeah, really engage with what this great work that you've that all of you have put together between the background vocals and the finish of the song. It's great. It's great. Can't wait for a video to come out soon.
I just met with a music video director yesterday.
All
So,
right.
yeah.
I figured
We'll
there
see.
has to be
We'll
a video for
see.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to watching that and talking more about it. Absolutely. Absolutely. But thank you. Yeah, thank you on that. And I understand this is just a single, but it's going to be a part of a much larger album,
Hmm.
Ancestor Song. Is that right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's my
I know.
masterpiece, Kijo. It's
Yes.
my masterpiece. I'm just
Yeah.
going around telling everyone it's a hit. It's a huge hit. The best thing I've ever made, and you're gonna
Exactly.
love it.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Don't say Janice didn't tell you. It's
Yeah.
going to be a
Yeah.
masterpiece and you
Yeah.
will love it. Well, I've heard Ancestor Song, the song itself, and I've already heard Here I Am, plus also previous music that you've created. So I trust exactly what you said. It's going to be a collaboration. You're also going to have some Korean spoken songs as well, as you said, and it's going to be quite, yeah, can't wait.
It's like
Can't wait.
it's like epic folk orchestral funk jazz, political.
Yeah.
It's and the songs on this record are very musically thematic. Like the melodies are very anthemic and very sweeping. So without lyric, right? There's a lot of choruses that are just melody. Like they
Hmm.
that I know it's not words, right?
Yes.
Or
I was
hey,
going to ask you
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's just
yeah.
like feeling
Yeah.
it really in your body and your gut and letting it ring out like from like through the earth up and like through your feet and then out of your voice, right?
Yes. You use a
Um
lot of incantations and that kind of thing in your work.
incantation, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
But
just channeling the feeling, like the
yeah.
spirit of the song and very embodied, very embodied. That's how it
Yeah.
feels for me.
It's very
Mhm.
personal, embodied music making that you do.
Yeah, yeah. The body as instrument, as amplifier of like the feelings and thoughts in my spirit. And then we put it on the record forever. And that's hard. I have a really hard time with recording.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I
because you did say you're more of a live performer, but yeah.
mhm. And
Yeah.
there's something that it's hard for me to accept that this now becomes the definitive version.
Mm.
Like now it's been printed and
Mm-hmm.
duplicated all across the internet. I'm generally a very impatient person, and recording it takes so long. It takes so long, and you have to be exact. With music, it's instant. I sing it, I create it, and then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the fleeting experience of that, I love that. You had to be there. um, but the recording, yeah, it's a product that lasts forever. And usually my songs are different every time I do them. So to be like, okay, this is going to be the official instrumentation,
Mm.
print it, that's tough. It's a process of like letting go, I think.
Yeah, it is. I never even thought of it that way. Yeah, when you're so used to doing unique live performances, you really have to be a little more, I guess, yeah, you'd have to give more space to that kind of recording process. It's entirely different. The expectation of what is expected of you is different.
Like already on Here I Am, we I had band practice this Sunday. I did the spoken word part differently. And I'm like, oh, I like that better. But we've already recorded it. Right. So on the recording, it's like, this is a song, rest, rest, about taking up space. But in rehearsal, I did it like on the offbeats, like, this is a song about taking up space when you've been. And I was like, oh, that's so much better. But we already recorded it. So I guess that's what it is live now. But
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Well, then that's it. That is the invitation to come and see it live because that
hey,
means now you know, right? We're gonna have a different, very different experience. The recording's just it is a sample of what is possible,
ooh, I like
right?
that.
Yeah, it is. It's a sample of what is possible because once you start jamming with other people, there's a different vibe and yeah, it shifts to everything. And yeah, I also wanted to ask you, will you be performing in Toronto live in the near future?
Kejo, I have an album release in December. Um, and I actually don't have a lot of gigs because I'm not focused. I'm taking a break from gigging. Right now I'm practicing with my band for the Folk Music Ontario
Yes, and I
showcase
look
in
forward
London.
to seeing you there. By the time this airs, it's going to be already October 15th.
I'll be there with my six-piece band on Saturday.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
it's really my whole band is queer. It's so cool.
Yes. So
Just
you
it's
got,
shuffled
yeah,
out that way
exactly.
naturally. So,
Naturally, that's the way it should be for you. I'm
mhm.
so happy for you. That's good.
Thank you.
That's good. That's good. And yeah, I know to be in that yeah, just to have that reinforcement of community, you feel free, I imagine.
Yeah, I supported. We're on the same page. We want to do the same thing,
Hmm.
and they're just
Hmm.
such incredible musicians.
Exactly. You can really move
Because like
forward and
I have this fractured wrist and I can't play my guitar,
yeah. How's
so
that working out?
you kind of need the guitar to hold down the rhythm and the chords. So Justin, my piano player, originally was not going to come, but has shuffled his schedule around so he can come and play the chords. So
Oh, that's so amazing.
yeah,
Isn't
it's
it
real
nice to
good.
have, yeah. And this is where the trust and collaboration really comes in, right?
Yeah, he's got my back. But I
Yeah.
can play trumpet, I've discovered. Because my left
Oh.
hand is my good hand. I can hold my trumpet. And then I can just press the valves down as long as they're really nice and oiled. So it'll be so funny. I just once in a while bust out my trumpet.
There,
Yeah, you'll see.
because you just can't let go, right? I must play an instrument.
I know. I might play the cups. Ding, ding,
Ding
ding, ding,
ding.
ding.
There
Like
you go.
on Here I Am, you can hear the cups, right? It's
Oh,
like,
yes, that's right.
yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little bit like when you're going down the street. I don't know if you've ever gone to carnival, but it's like the cowbell, a certain
Oh,
kind of,
yes.
yeah,
There
it
is
has like,
cowbell.
there is cowbell. Of course there is.
Hmm.
Of
Hmm.
course. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
complete without the cowbell. Amazing. But yes, I look forward to it. I look forward to your six-piece band there, and including Justin as your backup to replace your right arm,
Hmm.
and yeah, and hold those rhythms for you. And I'm so glad you have all the support and everything you need to create the music we are so fortunate to enjoy. So thank you so much, Janice, for coming into this space and yeah, just sharing on the importance of trust and the sacracy of music making, and to talk a little bit about Here I Am and the upcoming December release of Ancestor Song. I'd also like to thank my technical director, Karen Young,
Shout out Karen
and shout out to
Young.
Karen Young for her key role in bringing this production together. I'm Kejo Buchanan, and this is CJRU Artist Review. Ashe.